Welcome back once again to the Yankee Down Under. Today's matchup is going to include Quicksilver Aggression versus the Absorbing Man and Hydra Salt. Absorbing Man, he came from the Rise of Red Skull expansion. He has 1 scheme, 2 attack, and he gains the trait of each environment in play. So for the setup, we're going to discard cards from the encounter deck until an environment is discarded and put that card into play and shuffle the encounter discard pile into the encounter deck. So let's see what environment we're going to come up with today. Still nothing. Still nothing. Here we go, the Dense Forest. It's wood. It's Surge, but we're on setup, so we're not going to worry about that. It has a force response. After Absorbing Man makes an undefended attack against you, you take 1 indirect damage, 2 indirect damage instead if there are 5 or more delay counters on the main scheme. So then we'll shuffle these back up. So the scheme is None Shall Pass. It has a limit of 12 thwart per player. It has a force response. So after resolving step 1 in the villain phase, you place a delay counter here. And then when an environment enters play, you discard each other environment card in play. So this force is in play. If I draw another environment card, this is going to get discarded, and the one is drew will take its place. It comes in with 2 threat per player, so it's just me. So we'll put 2 threat on there, and then beginning of the dueling round, 1 additional threat will be placed. So I'll shuffle my cards up. Of course, we're going to go. Pietro's got a hand size of 6 and 9 hit points. Absorbing Man has 14 hit. Well, Absorbing Man 1 has 14 hit points. Sorry. Let's see what hands that were dealt. So we've got a Twin Carrier, Strength, Hall of Heroes, Servo Industries, Press the Advantage, and Energy. Let's see here. Well, we're not going to need. Let's discard Press the Advantage. Keep the rest. We'll draw Friction Resistance. Great card to have. We'll turn it on. So let's see what we're going to do here. We're definitely going to pay 3. Get Friction Resistance on the table. We'll exhaust that. It's a payer for a resource. Use our energy to get a Twin Carrier into play. Actually, no, I had to flip over to Quicksilver because. Oh, no, I can do that. So, yeah, we'll Twin Carrier into play. We'll exhaust the Twin Carrier to put Servo Industries into play. Servo Industries has an action, so you can exhaust Servo Industries, run your Alter Ego mode to shuffle 2 Quicksilver cards from your discard pile to your deck. But we don't have any Quicksilver cards at the moment. So what we will do, we'll flip over to Quicksilver. He's got 1 thwart, 1 attack, and 1 defense. He has a thing called super speed, so it's response. So after you use one of Quicksilver's basic powers, thwart, attack, or defense, you can ready and do it once per phase. So once during the hero phase and once during the villain phase. So we'll attack for 1. So knocking down to 13. We'll ready him back up, which in case we'll also ready friction resistance because it has a hero span. So after you ready Quicksilver, ready this card. And then we'll attack him again to knock him down to 12. And then that will end our turn. And we have a hand size of 5, so we'll draw 5 cards, getting Yarnborn. Always be running. War Machine. Relentless Assault. And Spider-Man. So we'll go over to the villain's phase. We'll place 1 threat. It's a boost up to 3. It gets a delay counter. He will attack. We'll defend. So he'll attack for 2 plus nothing. We'll take 1 damage. And then we'll ready him back up. Because we can do that because of his response. And then Trick will draw a encounter card. We get his obligation, need for speed. So we'll give the appeal to max all player. You can flip this dodge to ego form and then choose to either exhaust Pietro to remove it from the game or exhaust your identity. You cannot ready your identity until your next turn ends. Discard this obligation. So we will just flip and exhaust to get that out of the game. Which is fine. So, we are turning it. We will pay 1 to put Yarnborn into play. It has a response, so after your hero attacks an enemy, you can spend a physical resource to deal 2 damage to an enemy. We will spend 1. No, we won't spend anything. We will flip over. Spend 1 for always be running. It's already picks her back up. It's ready that back up. We'll attack for 1. Knock it down to 11. Exhaust friction resistance to trigger Yarnborn to deal another 2 damage. So knock it down to 9. And then I can ready him back up because I read him the first time he used to always be running, which raises this back up. And let's thwart this time. So knock it down to 2. And then exhaust friction resistance to deal another 2 damage to his remnants and put him down to 7. Because it doesn't say you're going to have to do it once per round or once per phase, so you can do it as many times as you want. As long as you have to read the physical resource to do it. And then we will ready back up. We will keep War Machine and Spider-Man in hand. And then we will draw 3. Power all of us. Scarlet Witch. And Jane Foster Thor. So we will be villain phase again. We'll go back up to 3. Delay counter. He'll attack, we'll defend. 2. Plus the boost, star boost. So boost, if this card resolves during an undefended attack, this card is support you control. But it doesn't. So we will just ignore that and get 1 damage. Putting this down to 7. Then we will get counter card. I see Grip Treachery. When revealed, you are stunned, which means now we cannot attack until we shut off the stun. If Absorbing has the ice trait, which he doesn't, he has wood, take 2 indirect damage. So now we are stunned. We're supposed to bring him back up. We defended. Our turn again. So let's do. Let's see. Let's do 2. 3 for Spider-Man. The reason I said 2 because Power All of Us is double the number of resources this card generates as paying for a basic card. So Spider-Man is a basic card, so it will count as 2, and then Exhausting the Queen Carrier will be 3. So Spider-Man comes into play. He has a response. So after you play Spider-Man from your hand, choose thwart or attack. Spider-Man gives +2 to the chosen power until the end of the phase. So we can give him +3 thwart, a +4 attack. I think we'll give him +4 attack. Knock him down to 3. We'll use our basic attack to shut off the stun. Like we're bringing him back up now. But then we'll attack again for another 1. Exhausting Friction Resistance to give us a physical resource to tribute Yarnborn to deal 2 more damage. And we just knocked out Missouri Man level 1. Now we're going to move on to level 2. He comes in with 15 hit points. He has 2 scheming, 2 attacks, so his attack actually, his scheme went up by 1. So when revealed, his super absorbing power is in play, deal 1 encounter card to each player. Otherwise, search the encounter deck and discard pile for super absorbing power and reveal it, and then shuffle the encounter deck if it was searched this way. So nothing in the discard pile, so it's in the actual encounter deck, so we have to look for super absorbing power. Where is it? Here it is. Super absorbing power comes in with 3 threats. Crew has the ability to absorb the properties of multiple elements at once, but it requires intense concentration, so Absorbing Man gains the ice, metal, stone, and wood traits. So that's not very good. So let's go ahead and so he attacked with him, so he'll get a consequential damage. I can't really Quicksilver back up because I already did it once because of the to shake off the stun. So I'll go ahead and end my turn. I've already all my cards up. I'm not going to discard anything, so I'll draw back up the hand size of 5. So I'll get a Helicarrier, and I'll get a Reinforced Sanu. And it'll be the villain's turn. Scheme will go to 4 with another delay counter. He'll attack for 2. I'll block. 4 damage. -1, so we'll take 3 damage. We'll put us down to 4. Then we'll take an encounter card. Hydra Jet Trooper. It's a minion. 0 scheme, 2 attack, 3 health. Has Quick Strike, so he'll do an automatic 2 damage to us, putting us down to 2. I forgot the, actually we'll now we'll do that. Let's take the damage. So what are we gonna do here? Well, Spider-Man, he'll go ahead and he'll attack Zorg-Man for another 2. Put down 13. He'll take a consequential damage. Will spend a resource with the Queen Carrier. One with friction resistance. Actually, no, we'll keep friction resistance. We'll spend 1, and then we'll do. Let's take the Hydra Carrier. Let's play Reinforce anew. I'll get +1 attack. So I'll attack the Jet Trooper for 2. I'll exhaust friction resistance to trigger Yarnborn to deal 2 more damage to get rid of the Jet Trooper. Ready back up. And then we'll do 1 for friction resistance, 2, 3 to put Scarlet Witch into play. We'll thwart for 1 to take 1 off of that. Push this down to 2. Scarlet Witch will thwart. So when I use one of Scarlet Witch's basic powers, I discard the top card of the counter deck, and if each boost icon is away, she gets +1 for that power. So we'll do thwart. We'll discard that. Nothing, because the star is not a boost icon. So only 1 goes away. We'll take a coincidental damage. Then we will have to flip over to Pietro. We'll trigger Servo Industries, Alter Ego action to exhaust Servo Industries to shovel 2 Quicksilver cards from your discard pile back into your deck. So always be running. Well, there's only 1, so let's shuffle that one. And then that will end our turn, so we'll ready everything back up. We'll draw 6. Wow, power of aggression. Genius. Always be running. Another always be running. Team building exercise. Downtime. So this will go to 1. So set now 4. He's going to scheme for 2. And then the boost. So if you're in hero form, which we're not, so we're not going to have to worry about that. So it says if you're in hero form, the villain attacks you after disactivation, you're not dealing any boost cards for that attack. We're in Alter Ego mode, so that's going to worry about anything. So he's only going to scheme for 2 to put this up to 6. And then the encounter card is Stall Tactics. So when we reveal, place 1 threat on the main scheme for every 2 delay counters in the main scheme. If no threat was placed its way, this card's being Surge. So actually I should have 4 on there if I believe. Alright, so it's for every 2, so there's 4, so that's another 2 to put it to 8. Alright, it's our turn. We're going to have to recover for 3. Let's go to 5. Scarlet Witch is going to have to thwart for 1, plus an additional 1, so 2. Let's put that down to 6. Shoot, I should have played downtime first. Let's rewind. That's at 8. Pin carrier for downtime, plus 2 recovery. Then we'll recover for 5. Recover for 3 for another 2, so that puts us up to 7. Scarlet Witch with thwart for 1, plus 1, that's 2. Puts that down to 6. She gets another consequential damage. Spend 2 for team building exercise. We'll nope, don't have any. So we will flip over to Quicksilver. We'll exhaust friction resistance to play. Always be running to ready us back up. We'll attack for, we'll thwart for 1. Actually, no, we'll attack for 1. Down to 12. Exhaust friction resistance to trigger Yarnborn to deal another 2 damage. Put that down to 10. We ready them both back up. And then let's thwart for 1. We'll play Power of Aggression and Spin to play another Always Be Running to ready back up again. To attack again for, oh actually it's another 2. I forgot because we had Reinforce Anew, so we'll knock that down to 9. So he'll be down to 9. We'll trigger that, so that's 1, that's 2, so he's down to 7. Then we'll trigger Force Resistance to trigger Yarnborn for another 2 damage. Puts him down to 5. Not gonna do anything else, we're ready back up. And then we'll draw 5. So with maximum velocity, into the fray, another into the fray, another Always Be Running, and maximum velocity. Here we'll turn, so we'll get a delay counter, and that will go up to 7. Sorry, which is ready. He'll attack, so we'll block with Spider-Man. So it's not an undefended. It's not an undefended attack, so we won't have to worry about taking the indirect damage. So he'll do 2, plus another boost. If this resolves during undefended attack, this card's for your control. Well, it's not undefended, so we'll just discard it. And so Spider-Man Miles Morales is out of here. Just leave Scarlet Witch. I'm drawing a counter card. Swordman gets his ball and chain. There's an attachment and a weapon to attach to Zoriman, and it gives a +1 scheme, +1 attack, and so you spend a physical resource to shuffle this card back into the counter deck. So yeah, that's not good. So it'll be our turn again. So let's do this. We'll spend 1, 2. Yeah, we'll spend 1, 2 for maximum velocity. This is +2 thwart, 2 attack, and 2 defense. So full attack. So we'll get +2 attack, +1 that's 3, plus another one that's 4. So that's a +4 attack. So knock them down to 4, -4, down to 1, and then we'll ready back up, and then we'll smack them again, taking them out, defeating the absorbing man number 2, and that's how Quicksilver is done. Hopefully I didn't make any mistakes. If I did, please leave one in the comments. Comments are now open, by the way. I didn't realize that you couldn't comment before because over something stupid, but that's all right. Comments are available now. So if you like the video, please like, subscribe, and I'll be back with more material. Until then, I'll see you later.